Oh. Oh. I didn't know how this is going to look because that thing, that window's, the light kind of messing with it, ain't it? I might be able to adjust it. I don't know. I was thinking I might be able to. Let's see here. That helped a little bit. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Oh. 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 Let's see. You who come to the search for God are probably seeking healing of some kind, physical, mental, moral, or financial. Life must be understood as a giving process rather than a getting one. As we face life with this attitude, we draw spiritual riches from it in the form of health, harmony, supply, activity, home, companionship, and purity. Many fail to realize their desire because their thought is held to getting, achieving, accomplishing, rather than the unfoldment of good from within. When we bring to the search a heart full of love for God, for truth, for reality, all things are added on to us. Yeah, I think so, maybe. Possibly. Oh, oh, man. Little slow today, but your so called human consciousness is the shutter that keeps out the infinity of your own consciousness and opening wider lets in the realization of its infinity. When that shutter is completely open, there is no barrier, therefore, no separation or limitation. You cannot increase your consciousness because it is already infinite. But you can open your eyes in awareness of the infinite nature of your being. Oh, hey, how's it going, David? Let me see. Take her easy. Yeah, I will. Don't work too hard. I'm just chilling. I was just, don't mind just, people work. They have to do stuff. But I appreciate you taking the moment to stop by and say hi anyway. Um, I do recognize you. We have, you've talked a few times in the chat, and we've, there's been times you've been able to be here. And I'm just going to chill. I have been testing StreamYard out, but today I'm not doing that. I'm just going solo and just going to be here for a little while, kill a little bit of time, but, see who does show up. And I was kind of just reading something from a spiritual interpretation of scripture by Joel S. Goldsmith. I was reading a little bit of that. I've been messing around a little with drawing here lately, and I'm trying to set aside, even if it isn't but 15, 20, 30 minutes of me sitting with a pencil and a piece of paper and practicing something. I'm trying to get in the habit of doing, whether it be trying to practice a certain thing or just something coming to me like I've done today, like just kind of sketching out, and I don't know where it came from, but I kind of know the inspiration. It's someone I know and their hairstyle and stuff. Then also, I think once I'm done, whenever I'm done with this particular stream, I'm going to probably, here recently, I started reading the first volume of Gorillas again, and I finished it the other day. So I've got the second volume. I have all 4 volumes of it, and so I'm going to get into the second volume today, probably before the end of the day. I'm going to at least start and read a little bit of that. It's pretty stylistic comic, but the story itself is really compelling, and the guy did a pretty good job at, it's like a narration, but it's just, there's a lot of correlation to social events even going on nowadays, but it's based in, like Vietnam era. So, yeah, I'm going to probably start that today, the second volume. I've read all of these already, but I'm going back through stuff I have because, I don't purchase a lot of comics all the time, but it's been a while since I've looked through it, whatever I do have. And some of the things I have and that I have read they're good enough that I should read them again, It's been long enough. It'll be like a fresh story to me again. I like that. I'd forgot how entertaining this one particular was until I started looking at it a few weeks ago, and then I started reading it. And I don't mean to be talking about anything boring if I am, but I don't think it's boring, so I guess it's all right. Something else I was thinking about doing is reminding anybody that does come in why I'm doing this live stream. If you didn't see, there's 2 different videos up. Now, I currently have the potential, if you want to win a chance at me drawing your name, and you might want a copy of this book called 50 Things That Really Matter. I was thinking maybe there's like 3 people that have commented on the original video. So that's 3 people for sure that are interested in, I figure if someone's in Canada or the US and they do want to enter, they can let me know. Even I'm guessing if someone's in a live and they don't know about the video, if I'm bringing it up and they tell me right then that they want a chance to get a copy, then I'll write their name down. That's what I'm thinking. Like, it gives everybody a chance. Like, if you miss the video, it'd be just as easy for someone to say, well, hell, put my name in there, and I can put it down. I got to figure out, I wrote down some names the other day, the people from the other video. But I'm just kind of winging it today, And I thought, and I understand you're at work, so if you're not in there, it's not. But there's been a couple people viewing, and I think we might have a. Sometimes there might be a connection going on that's someone might be having an issue at some point on their end. But I was thinking, if a few people show up before I end the stream, which we're only like 10 minutes in, so I'm not going to end it anytime soon. I figured if a couple people show up and are interested, I could read a little of this, read something from this if they want to hear it. Like it's just it's like 50 different people, so you got 50 different short little stories from people's lives about things, that made them think or made them like something in their life that made them think about what's really important. So it's just an inspirational book. And of course, I did share it on I shared it with the channel in the past year and a half or so. I don't remember. I think I ended that book at the end of last year sometime, or maybe right at the turn of this year. But I've been meaning to have the giveaway for a few months, and we ended reading that as me doing a few videos every week out of that, reading that until I finished it. So I do have a playlist for that. Oh, you have to excuse me. But actually, it's a nice day outside. I might see. There's not much to really do other than sometimes I need to get in the habit of doing it more again. Trying to walk is, especially on nice days. I do a little short walk some, but I've gotten out of the habit of doing at least the short walk every day. I'm trying to make myself do that. What keeps me sometimes doing it is my dogs sometimes follow me up the road, and I don't like when there's sometimes a lady that be walking her dog, and I don't want to like have anybody have their dog might react weird because it's on a leash or something. My dog's just kind of. I want to get them. I wish I could do the electric, like invisible thing. Those can be expensive though. You who come to the search for God are probably seeking healing of some kind, physical, mental, moral, or financial. Life must be understood as a giving process rather than a getting one. As we face life with the attitude we draw spiritual, with this attitude we draw spiritual riches from it in the form of health, harmony, supply, activity, home, companionship, and purity. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I think so. I know that I've always been seeking something deeper. And then when I figured out that there is something to it. Now I'm ambiguous. I use ambiguous words sometimes, or not ambiguous, but just I come from my perspective and my experience, trying to describe that which is and has always been, like from a human perspective, it's kind of hard, aka God, Big Kahuna, the Christ, or any of that. You have the Creator, Great Spirit, Holy Ghost, however it might be the terminology might be a little different, but talking about the divine, the consciousness of creation itself, or the conscious behind the creation, the manifestation of what we see and hear now. Maybe I'm thinking too hard. y'all just tell me if you come in and you have something you need to get off your head. Like feel free to chat, ask a question if you don't, or if I'm talking about something that is interesting to you, then just feel free to listen and observe. I'm just like I said. I'm just kind of waiting. See, I know David said he's at work. Now that could mean many things. Some people are working sometimes and have came in and just have it in the back, like they can hear me talking. Or someone's like not necessarily working, but they're busy. And I do that same thing all the time. Sometimes I'll catch someone live and I'll put them on, and I can't necessarily be sitting the whole time watching. But a lot of times, most live stream is people talking anyway. It's kind of like doing a podcast, I guess. But that's why it's going to be interesting. Like the past couple of days when I used, when I used StreamYard yesterday, somebody that is a subscriber, and often if he catches me on a live, he'll be in the chat. I was doing StreamYard, so I was able to share the link, and he came in towards the end. And, it was another chance for me to just give the opportunity to someone to see if the link's working, give me an opportunity to test it out again, see how it works going up, like me and another person do it. It's pretty simple, so I don't know what it'll be like if any more than one person hits the link and comes in. Shouldn't be too complicated, but being on a mobile, I wouldn't want to get I don't want to get too many on the screen with where I'm trying to navigate something. Although it probably ain't that big a deal. It's more about what the people see. Like if we're streaming, being I don't have a laptop or anything, it was cool when Dr. Self-Disrespect, when he was on the other day, the day before yesterday, he was able to pull up something and come in hit the link, and I could go into it would come up as a guest was coming in. You open it up, and it moved me and him over to the side, and we were able to. He's able to pull stuff up, and we show it to the audience. So that's going to be interesting if when I plan an actual one where I want to have somebody on, and maybe they have a computer where we can do that, and we might even have something we want to just set as kind of what we're going to start off talking about. But I haven't put too much thought into it yet. I just know that at some point I'm going to try to figure it out. Okay. I did a stream on X, on Twitter, X earlier. And stayed on for probably 25. The thing I don't like about doing it from their app is on their platform is it don't have a timer on it. But that's real simple. I realized the next time I do a live just on Twitter without being on YouTube, what I'll do is be conscious of the time I start it. I'll look at the time. That way, if I think if it's going on, because there was somebody watching Lending Farms. Somebody they were there the whole time just about, and I think they're like a hemp or cannabis farm type thing. I'm not sure where they're located. I forgot. Oh. But it was cool that they were hanging out for a little while, and I was just testing out. So, because I'm trying to, even if a lot of people that subscribe to me don't go over and mess with X, there is a lot of people I have met over there, and a lot of YouTube creators, a lot of influencers, and people that are creative people, whether they be artists, writers, musicians, and stuff like that. I follow there and have met, and it's a good way to be able to interact with people too. And then, because if you're interacting enough, some people I feel comfortable enough to have actual, connection to, like, outside of just the social media, just like here on YouTube. There's a few times that people have emailed me, and then after we talk a couple, like, we just kind of, and it's, you know what I mean? You got to fill it out, of course. There can all kind of people out there. But I think of it as like, I'm interested in meeting people that are maybe interested in trying to do something also, like even if they haven't already started, like whether it be a channel or be part of a channel or be part of not just a channel, but the overall concept of what I think of is like eventually certain things I've talked about over the few years, and what I'm trying to do is not talk so much about it this year as other than trying to initiate it when I get certain things situated, like with a website maybe that is a creative type website. It might not, and also at some points getting something down where maybe opening a little bit of a merch store, so like a print on demand, like type t-shirts or stickers and mugs and stuff, have like something for the channel and myself, like as far as the brand, I guess is what you'd call it. But it'd be interesting to have some cool stuff that people that would have followed the channel for a while or coming on board or like what I'm doing, if they want, they can buy a shirt or they can buy like whatever it is I have designed and put up. And it don't really cost, you know what I mean? It's like, might not sell a lot, but when it does sell, what little bit that you make off of it, I can just, kind of put it back into doing something. That's what I always figured is, I don't know how it works, but it's probably like you probably can't get, you probably have to get a certain amount sold before you get cashed out anyway. I'd rather it be that way. Like have a kind of a storefront for merch and then like not be able to, every time a sale is made, you don't get the money right then. Like have it go into an account, and then when it gets to a certain amount, then you can draw it out and put it into your own, I don't know how it would work. Huh. I guess he's going to the mailbox. And people, I was playing around on my storage bin in my room a little bit ago, but I wanted to do the live in here in the living room. In my room, it's still kind of, I took my thing down off the window so it'd be a little more light if I did the live in there. But I'm just, actually, I'll show you. Maybe might just go outside for a minute. I don't know if I'll be able to see you, but let me take this. See how nice it is. Whoa, gee. Well, the wind's blowing and it just about, okay. Oh, man. It blew so hard that block moved. That door about slammed on me. I wish there was somewhere. See, I would go further walking if when I want to go further, like I don't really have a reason to walk towards town or anything anymore because there's a store right there. But if I want, I used to enjoy just going off into either or here, especially if I had a few dollars and I knew I could get something to drink and like something to eat once I got there. And a lot of times I'd throw, like if I had a snack, I could throw it in the backpack. It's a few miles walk, so it's like, if I go one way, it would be, I could get there in about an hour, a little less, sometimes more, depending on how long I took. But I really haven't, I'm sorry if I'm rambling on. I was just kind of like thinking about what I want. When I take off like that, though, I have to put the dogs up. Like I have to make sure, try to get them in the house, and then I leave them in the trailer while I'm gone if I know I'm going to be gone for a little while. The sky's pretty today too. Like, let's see. Here, my dogs have dug big old holes. I've got to get some dirt and try to. Now, of course, here's what I'm thinking. As soon as I fill them up, one of the dogs is going to go instantly digging in where I put dirt. So it's probably going to be the case. Let's see. There's the sun. That's pretty nice, ain't it? This is a little different as far as I figured I could come out here and walk around for a minute. This is kind of dumpy back here. I need to clean some things up. But not too bad. This is where I used to come back here and sit. Sometimes I would do, the videos out here, and I probably will again. I probably will do it again when, it's nice weather, so probably in another month or two, I'll be doing more, like in the mornings or even whatever time of day I'm doing a stream. I'll probably come out here and set something up. That thing probably needs a new board on it, but what are you doing, girl? What are you doing? Now, this old couch, some of this stuff I need to burn, like, they just hadn't burned nothing in a while. There's a burn pile down. I want to try to coordinate it. If Betty and them were going to burn anything, then I'll take these couple, it's just wooden stuff, but they're worn out from being out in the weather and everything, no good. Plus the landlord complained about, you need to get that stuff, So I'm going to try to straighten this area up again here in the next month or two, like be back here and move some of this stuff out and maybe burn it and all that, and then clean any trash up that's on the ground and stuff. So, yeah. Let's see. Just kind of giving you an idea. See, like that store is right there. So, way I go is I go up here. The neighbors cut across the road and come in front of that, or the trailer park, the yard. They go in front of this trailer and they come out at this corner there. And then right there at that tree, you just cut around that fence and you walk over through there. They're a little, and then the store's more down on the other end. I haven't went over there in a few days. I'm trying to resist going and getting anything over there. Like, I ain't been thinking about drinking or nothing, but they got these little, they're like $8 or something. They're like a little THC shot, but it's different than smoking it. But I'm like, like when I first get paid or something and buy a few, cause it gives you a different, it kind of like works differently, cause it's ingested differently. It's a little bit quicker than eating it because it's liquid, but it's like, it's not that much, just 10 milligrams, but take one of those. Oh, hey. Hey, James, what's up? Sorry, I just announced it, and I guess it just popped up. I don't know, was you here? I was outside for a second. I'll go back outside in a minute. Yeah, See, David said he's working. He might be still listening. I think he. I was talking about the store over here has these. Sometimes I get them, and I've been trying to. I've been like keeping myself from going and getting like one because I'm trying to be more mindful with my money right now, more so than I was last month. Like this time last month, I was almost completely broke. Right now, I'm still sitting to the good, and you know what I'm saying. It's like a thing about this big, and it's supposed to be 2 servings, but it's like 10 milligrams. I know that when I take one, the first time I tried one and I was live in the morning. I did a live like a month or 2 ago, and so I bought one that morning and went live. And like at the beginning of the live, I think I drank half of it and then drank the other half. And then, as I was doing the live, I could tell a difference. Overall, it just, I wasn't expecting nothing like a major because of the milligram wasn't that. Like I've ate quite a bit of, like high milligram gummies or like the brownies or something. I think it's best if you make them yourself, really. A while back last year, I had ordered enough. I had enough smoke, and then I had some wax. So I put a little bit of wax in the mix for the thing I baked. But I broke up a good portion of smoke. I don't know how much it was, like over a quarter or more, and then like probably a good gram or something of the wax, which is highly concentrated, and just made a small little batch that I ate on myself. But it kind of backfired. It didn't hammer. It was like the smoke was Blue Dream, so like it's more of a hopper, And I ate it. Like I didn't eat it all that night, but I ate, and it kind of like kept me up. Like I was expecting, sometimes I've ate an edible and it like go waylay you, but it depends on what type of, what kind of smoke is used in making it. Certain strains are gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like if it's certain strains are gonna be more psychoactive, like where you're thinking and like, whoa, and like you're not gonna get tired. Anyway, yeah, today I'm not using the StreamYard just because I was like, like no reason to. I don't want to use up all the, even though I don't think I could right now. But if I use it every single time I do a live, it's going to eat into the amount of time I have for the entire month. If I intend on, like, it'll just be something I'll do, just kind of randomly. I don't know. At least a few times a week, at least once or twice a week, I'll use it. I'm going to get in the habit of it, and that way I can learn how to do it. And like yesterday, James, when you came in, you know what I mean? Like, I will do it again. So even if I don't have someone set up to come and have it personally sent them the link, but someone comes in, give somebody, whoever, you know what I mean? Until I figure out something that when I want to do one where like I actually ask somebody and prepare for it. I'm still just winging it, I figure this just, well, I feel like I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that makes any sense, somebody asked me in a comment today on X, who do I pray to? And I was like, it was to a thing I posted about. I posted a question asking people. I asked, what was it that you experienced? Like, when was it that I was asking people in their life, what was it that they can say was the moment that verified for them, like that there is a creator, whether they are from a traditional Christian standpoint or whether they're from a non-traditional spiritual standpoint or whatever, but they've come to a realization that there is something there and it is real, you know. So that was my question. And then I was saying, for me, it was when I was 25 and I first really threw something to the wind. At 25, you know, I did not believe in a God or a creator or whatever, but I didn't know for certain. I wanted answers and thought I deserved, you know, like I thought whatever it is should prove itself before I do anything. Well, anyway, the point being, at 25, I kind of was like, look, I'm heading out, this crappy car, doing all this. I'm heading this way. And I said kind of like a prayer, like, if you see fit, let me get there, blah, 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 blah. And hopefully you're there. And if you ain't, I'm still going. Like, you know, it was like throwing it to the wind, throwing away the caution and just saying, here you go, man. And I ended up, you know, getting where I was going, then to New Orleans, lived on the streets, and found that for the first time, like you know, my mom was still alive, but I was resisting calling and going, you know, I did end up having to. But for the few months that I was there in New Orleans, I witnessed sometimes what I feel like was divine, like, you know, something was working. It was answering prayers. Things were being provided even without me asking. Like, it was new to me, but a lot of stuff was just kind of like, you know, that's how it always been for me. It's that I just kind of followed what was guiding me, and I wasn't sure what it was at the time. But at 25, I became fully aware. Oh, okay. Well, I hope that I'm not. Well, I mean, you shared, so I didn't, you know, bring up something that's sensitive, I guess. There's a lot of people that I've met, I think, that have had experiences similar. Maybe, you know what I mean, like that at some point they had a near-death experience and something. It's almost like each person's experience is different. And I don't think we can really do it justice trying to put words to it, you know, sometimes. Right. Well, I realized when I was thinking was that it wasn't sensitive because you're sharing it. Like, if it was something you didn't want to share and was sensitive to you, you wouldn't, you know, obviously I wouldn't. If I was watching somebody and it was interesting, but it was making me think of something that I didn't want to share, I wouldn't bring it up. If I bring it up, it's because it's all right. Coming to that term, however you come to it, I think is a good thing. And so James is doing it, but cloud illusions, I like that. Um, let's see. Oh, I'm trying to remember. So I'm not really, as you can see, I'm just kind of talking, but I'm discussing, you know, like I do a lot of times. Well, I don't know if I do it a lot, but my mind stays in that area. When I'm in a good sync, and I'm doing certain things that work for me on a daily basis. And it's real key listening and communicating, you know, with what has always been there for me. And I've said this a million times in videos and on live streams. It's when I get out of sync of paying attention or, starting my day off first with gratitude and then like just waiting to receive, like, instead of trying to force the day, I'm trying to learn how to allow the day to unfold and let what has always, when I do it that way, when I take the step back and let the big kahuna do the driving like I'm supposed to, things are not as complicated. Even if I'm not having a very good day, if I'm allowing who I'm supposed to walk ahead, to do the driving, to show me how, like to kind of, it's up to me whether I choose to go in the right way or not. But it's pretty simple for me. Right, that's what I'm saying. It's just sometimes I use certain terminology just because I do. And some people I think maybe I'm weird. But I enjoy that I can be open about my relationship. Doesn't mean that I'm any better than or worse than. I think each person, I know somebody has asked me before, like they haven't had an experience yet where they can definitively, without a shadow of a doubt, say, they're still kind of like they believe, but like they don't know for certain about things because they hadn't experienced what like a divine, like you said, something happened. You feel like angels were there. You know what I mean? Like only you know what happened, and it's like trying to describe it to somebody. Either people get it or they don't, and I try to learn that sometimes it's not necessary to. I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. I figure the best way is just I can share it if it doesn't bother people and they like to hear about it and they share about their stuff. That's cool, and then we make connections. And hopefully something that I share might inspire someone to, if they don't know about where they stand with the whole God thing, maybe this inspires them to start asking those questions, to step outside of like a certain comfort zone, maybe that they've never stepped out of, and ask questions, even if they're got some kind of concept of it. Right, yeah. I've had people try to ask me like when I talk about Gray Cloud being my name, I have a human name that was given to me that I don't really go by anymore, and I've shared it plenty of times, like Jason. But that's just on legal terminology. What I mean by Gray Cloud being my actual name is that I feel that was something revealed to me, so many years back. It was spiritually something. It wasn't a nickname that, if it is a nickname, it wasn't given to me by a human being. It wasn't just like, we're going to call you Gray Cloud now, like. Sometimes when I've shared that story, some people are like, well, what's my name? What's my real name? What is blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, well, I mean, don't ask me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's something somebody's got to kind of like probably figure out on their own. And I don't know what for all I know, their given name might be what is their real name, like their, yeah. Well, that's why sometimes I try to use, well, like I'm not trying to like do anything, but sometimes I have to get comfortable with the terminology that I use when I'm sharing it to people broadly, like on the internet. And it's only because I feel that some people might come to the channel and think that I might think exactly their way, but I'm not trying to make it. You know what I mean? Like I think you can tell. I've learned from a lot of different sources. The main thing that teaches me is listening, like you've said, listening to that which has always guided me. And I just simply call it the Spirit, you know. You can call it the Holy Spirit, you can call it the Great Spirit, but I just say the Spirit that has always been there, once I acknowledged that it was there without a shadow of a doubt, I knew it was there. But when someone asked me today, basically, who do I pray to? I just said the big kahuna, aka God. I was like, the Christ, you know, the Creator. What else? Other words can I use? You know what I'm saying? We could, you know, throw out other things, Yahweh, this, that, what other? But I was trying to make a definitive, the obvious, like, you know, like I was trying to like say who I'm supposed to. In a funny way, I was trying to be, because it's somebody that's pretty cool, and they were being serious, like, because they were interested in, well, who are you talking about? Oh, no, I know. Well, Jesus, the Christ, it amazes me how some people haven't figured out that, for me, I came to the conclusion that Christ never really left me. You know, you might not be like everybody, like he came, he was resurrected, and then he came and was, what, 40 more days? Then he disappeared again, and then he's like, I'll be back. Well, he just ain't really announced it to the world yet, like everybody's waiting on. But I embrace it as, for me, I embrace it as he's here right now. Like he's here in this moment with me. The essence of what Christ stands for and is, just now us talking about it, is like the reality of it. You know, like the living word. Like this is the word. Like I'm not saying I have the word. I'm just saying the word. Like, you see what I mean? Him saying, say the name, it's all right. And then I went into it. Now, like I choose to live it, or let it be a living word. Like, I don't know. That's what I get out of it. That I think that even someone, if you've never even, like, I think some people, even if they've never came across scripture or any kind of spiritual text, that there is still people that the Spirit and Christ, they somehow come to know, somehow, even without books sometimes. It's something like unexplainable to me, like, or I get joy out of talking about it and sharing about it. So, like, even if I'm vague sometimes, or I use other terminology other than what some people may think I should use, and I'm not meaning y'all, I'm just being like, to be able to talk in any manner about God, creation, the nature of the universe, Christ, any of that kind of stuff, when I meet people that I can openly just share with or talk to about any of it, whether it be from a Christian standpoint or from a, some other background. Like I've met plenty of people, I've even met people that were atheists, but still open, like they were people I could talk to, even though they didn't, like, because I wasn't trying to like force anything on them. So they were open to, and like sometimes it would bring them to a point where they were more interested in getting to know how I was so sure about something that they were so sure about. But then it starts, you know what I mean? If someone's that way, they see that you're, I I don't know. I think some people just, whether they believe or not, they can see something in you. To me, that's the most natural way to just let people, try to let it shine to the best of your ability. I'm not any good at it. I do the best I can, and I think that's all we can do. But if I was to say that Gray Cloud's doing it, then I would be lying, you know? Like for me right now, it's like Gray Cloud's like like Gray Cloud isn't driving, like I said. Like I'm here, but I know who's moving through it. Like I feel like this I feel tickled because I can feel I feel the spirit right now. Like, and I can't prove it to anybody. You know what I mean? Like, I spent a large portion of my life like keeping those type of things to myself. Whether, you know, because sometimes people don't want to hear it. Especially the people like when I was partying hard, like you be partying with someone, you want to bring up God and like the universe and like just pondering questions and throwing out all these different things to like talk about. Some people just were like, man, you burnt your brain, or man, I just want to forget everything. You know, some people were wired differently. Like they were trying to forget everything. Where no matter what I did, I couldn't forget. No matter how inebriated I got, I still dove into like the deeper areas of thought. Well, now, what it was is at one time I was kind of going overboard with it. And I had to learn how to restrict, if that makes any sense. Like when I was talking about being 25 and learning that there's something there, it was guiding me. I was still like I was out there and I was trying to tell everybody, whether they be people at church or people that I partied with or whoever, what was coming out was so, like I wasn't giving myself time to process some of what was happening. Like it was trial and error. Like over the years, I've learned better how to discern how much information to share at any given time with certain said people. Like some people, it's okay to be more open and more like, yeah, you know, because you can see the receptiveness. Some people will show you a sign where, hey, ease off, you know, I don't want to hear nothing about it. I don't care how, you know, broad you talk about it. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it was like I wanted to be able to. I was thinking that by like, basically, I've already explained myself. Like nowadays, I try to process certain things before I. Sometimes I know instantly it's okay to share whatever, but sometimes things are revealed to you. And I'm just speaking from experience. Sometimes I have to learn that it's also, maybe it's revealing something to me, but it's saying, this is just for you right now. Like, don't go blurting all this out to everybody. Like, and sometimes it works better if I give it time to process, because there are things sometimes that can come to people if you're not processing it. You're trying to like make sense out of it, and you're trying to share it with people. Well, it's going to come out not making sense to anybody. And I think that's where the whole thing of me, when a person is trying to do all the driving themselves, instead of letting the pilot be the pilot. Yeah, sometimes I used to do a lot more writing. I mean, I've got some notebooks and stuff. Over the years, I ended up losing a lot of it. But, of course, here lately, I haven't wrote anything in the past, like, week or so. But I've been dabbling more with visual art. I have been delving into just whether it be reading, trying to practice some drawing, or even just like and reading meaning either studying something that I'm reading, like spiritual type reading, or I've picked up reading some of my comics again for entertainment because it's nice to do that. Oh, let's see. Yeah. Well, I think when we even if we're not if even if we think we're not that good at anything, if we got some kind of creative streak, it's still, to me, it's about having a spiritual connection. It's like if you play music, which I think James said he plays guitar. When I was in bands and played the drums and we wrote songs, like I never did cover songs, but we would write songs. But I was the kind of person it had to be like, you had to be able to have the chemistry for me. I couldn't just play with anybody. Some people are a musician where it doesn't matter who or what type of music it is, they can sit in and play, you know? But what I was getting at is there's a magic to that too. Like it's a spirit, to me, playing music with other people, whether you're doing covers or whether you're writing, it's still like there's like this psychic kind of spiritual thread there. And that's beautiful. So, you know, that's why, like today, you haven't seen me doing it. I haven't pulled my drumsticks out. I've been I did mess around a little bit in my room. But, and my neighbors probably don't hear it that well, but I'm just kind of like being, the neighbor behind me there is a kid over there, and I don't know if she's taking a nap or not. But I'm never beating on it so hard. I don't think that when they're inside that they can probably hear it. If they hear anything, it might just sound like a little bit of, you know, like if I was hammering something. Let me check what time it is. Okay, it's just going on to 1:57. Oh man, that's right. I started this right around 1 o'clock. I forgot. Oh, I appreciate you guys being here. Sometimes, you know, if there's anything, let me see here. Let me see here. Hey, I like what you're saying there. Yeah. Well, I don't have a drum set, but I use my sticks and beat on a bucket or a storage bin. I was reading what James is saying here. I'm going to pin that up there real quick. And then I'll pin the second part. There you go. I don't know if that's helping, but if I was in the StreamYard, I'd be able to push up, you know, like make it highlighted. Well, like I really dig, you know, like in the beginning was the Word, or, you know, the Word was with God and the Word was God, and, you know, and whatever. Not whatever, but you know what I'm talking about. And to me, like Christ was the Word before words even existed, you see. So there's a communication sometimes that can only be it's like the way that we think of words is completely different than even that, you know, like we're thinking about like a human concept of like what we think a word is, but like to know the living Word, you know, like that which was before anything was even written, you know. Uh, so I am the capital I that I am. That is talked about in The Mystical I by Joel Goldsmith. That was the first book I ever found of him. Christian mystic, you know, but it's still cool. Like I understood the concept he was talking about, finding the capital I within you. Like the great I am is, you know, remember when he said I am that I am, you know, like, well, that might have been Popeye. but I am what I am. Like but you get what I'm talking about. And I'm no preacher or anything. I don't ever. Well, Popeye says something like that. Like it's not quite, but like in the Bible, when it's like I am that I am. Like I am that and I am or whatever. But then Popeye, I've always thought about how Popeye said something. I am. Well, anyway, I know he said something like that, didn't he? I am what I am, or something like that. It was he wasn't trying to quote that, I don't think, but I always thought it sounded kind of like it. But the great I am, uh, like I think that's I think that's the overall message that I've always gotten is the seeking out that which is already there, and when you find it, you realize you didn't ever have to seek it. It's like it's so obvious. It's a great feeling, I think. Oh, yeah. I'm just thinking about something that Popeye said. I'm not saying Popeye's in the Bible, but I know you're joking with me. No, I'm not saying Popeye was in the Bible, but I think you're I think you're like picking at me. Let me go. Let me turn this around, and we'll go outside for a minute again if y'all want. Like I don't know how much longer I'll be on here. I may stream for a little while longer, and then I might decide to end it, and then do something around here without being online, and then might decide to go live again a little later. I don't know yet. It's Monday, and I really, like well, like I said, I'm not really making plans on my own personally. I'm kind of like just letting, I'm winging it, like I've already done a few things. Did a little sweeping, I mopped a little area in the, and then I've done some, like I said, I did a stream for probably about 30 minutes on X earlier. Come out here again for a minute. Oh, yeah, you saw my dogs. There'll be one of them probably wander over here in a minute because they seen me come out. Well, you can see where, like, I'm going to pick up all this. This is where the dogs have tore in. Like, some of the cushions and stuff I had out here. That's where they've, well, right here, you can see they've, but dogs will be dogs. So, I thought one of them might come over here. I'm surprised they didn't. They usually want to be up your butt, when you. So really, I'm just kind of like right now. I'm just kind of working on some, I guess, just kind of sharing with you guys and like hearing whatever you got to say in the chat, and then working. To me, this is kind of letting out a little bit of nervous energy and stuff sometimes, just because I know somebody's actually there. Like you're actually, you know what I mean? And I say that a lot. I don't like to say that too much. What is that? Southern Montana or Missouri? Is that Montana? Or, no, it's Missouri. I don't know what you're saying. I'm in Alabama. Yeah, Missouri. Okay, that's what I was thinking. I don't know why I thought Montana, but I said Missouri next. Cause yeah, Southern Missouri. Because that goes up through like Hidden Ozarks comes up through Arkansas and then up through there. There's several places. I'm from Tennessee originally, and then before I came here, I've been here like a little over 5 years now. It'd be like 6 next year. About this time next year, I think it'd be 6 years or something. But I came out of North Carolina to here, and okay, you're in Pennsylvania, James. Okay, I'm originally from Middle Tennessee, actually, a little town called Estill Springs, Franklin County, not Franklin, Tennessee, but Franklin County. Mont Eagle Mountain is there, which is Grundy County up there in Mont Eagle. But then the University of the South is on the mountain. We were right next door. The next county over is where Manchester is, where they have Bonnaroo and stuff. The festival every year now in the summer. Oh yeah, East Nashville. Well, yeah, Franklin, because I was just trying to make the difference between there's a Franklin, Tennessee, and then there's Franklin County, and Franklin County is like Winchester, Deckard, Swanee, Cowan. I think Huntland is in there, and then there's like, you know what I mean? It's like, but you go down to you would go like through, like if you went from Murfreesboro and go through. Like if you were in Murfreesboro and there's an old road you can take that'll take you through Shelbyville and then on through Tullahoma, and then you'd end up in Estill Springs, where I was growing up. Then you'd hit Deckard and Winchester. Well, that's why I was saying, yeah, we used to go to Nashville all the time, though. We were only like a little over an hour away. We were like, I could get to Huntsville, Alabama in about 45 minutes, get to Nashville in a little over an hour or under an hour, depending on the traffic. Chattanooga is about an hour and 15, 20 minutes. So I lived within like a good short drive of 3 different decent cities. And then Atlanta was like a 3.5 hour drive. We would go there and see like death metal bands and just different, like, well, mostly it was just death metal that I went to see. Back in the day, that's what I was, just like more extreme metal stuff. There's like 91, 92. We'd go to this place in Atlanta called Masquerade. Hey, you too, man. Appreciate it. I'll probably be off here in a little few. I need to probably, it's a nice day. I'm trying to think of like, sometimes it's, well, actually, like I said, there's times that I have to be reminded, like what I'm doing right now, maybe this is what I'm supposed to do today, is chill, do some live streams, and you know, when people are here to be and are attentive and hanging out, then you know you got to be grateful for that. Pennsylvania, James, the lady that. Oh, okay, Cloud Illusions. Sorry. So, oh, he said. Well, I didn't know either. I didn't want to make any assumptions about anything. Now, I think you've mentioned something before. Maybe I've seen you in a chat, or you've either commented on a video, I think. Pretty sure. I want to say you have. And I'm trying to remember if you actually have any videos on your channel. But you have a good day, too. James, what I was just saying is, I can't remember where, but Sarah, the one that, Sarah Boylan was in, she was from Pennsylvania. She was from, she lived somewhere near Philadelphia. She was like in a suburb, I think, of Philadelphia. So she claimed, like she would tell people, like, I met her in North Carolina. Okay, no videos, okay. Well, I was just saying if you had like a channel that you were uploading stuff on, even if it was just every once in a while, I would go subscribe. Well, sometimes I subscribe to a subscriber, even if they don't do channels. So, because if I want to tag you in a post or something to let you know something, I can. There's a few people that I've done that, especially if I draw a name for that book. Like, I'm going to probably do that. That's what we can talk about that another time, but I'm going to be giving a copy of this away. You can find a video that tells you exactly what to do, but I had said earlier, okay, well, yeah, Sarah, if she met you or something, she would just say she was from Philly. And then, I was with her for a while. We were best friends. Then we were like romantic. She was younger than me. But she's the one that in 2018, she overdosed. We had been separated at the time. She was back in in Pennsylvania. And she had got off. She had been like trying to stop doing any heroin and stuff. So she had been off of it for, I don't know, she claimed like a certain amount of time. And then like the week before she was supposed to come back to North Carolina and be like with me to try to do some things like with ideas that I've had for a long time, like I'm still working on. She went out that night, and then I guess they decided to go get some, and she didn't wake up. So that's I think you probably already know, but that's why I say ditto at the end of the videos, because that was mine and her. That was how we would say we loved each other. Like if we'd say we loved each other, like the actual words. But sometimes we were in situations where like she was on the street. Sometimes I was renting a room, but she couldn't stay where I was at. So I'd stay out sometimes, and we'd stay out and camp out. And anyway, we hung out with a lot of people that weren't necessarily they were living in tents and stuff. So sometimes we'd just be hanging out. And that would be our special word. Instead of saying I love you and overusing that, we could just say ditto to each other, and it was like something we knew. So when she died, that's how I decided at some point I would make that like a special memento. So when I started taking the channel serious, I signed off with using that. And I try to explain that pretty often. Because anybody, if you don't explain it every so often, and you gain so many subscribers, say it might just be a handful of people that are watching the videos, but if you have several people that just come in from nowhere, like out of the blue, and they're like, why does he say ditto at the end of every video? Well, that's why every so often I try to make a point to point that out to people. Yeah, like I never did it really. I've tried it, done it, and then I've done, I was more into, like when I met Sarah, she wasn't doing it anymore. She had came from Pennsylvania, and then she came there with some dude. And then at the time I met her, she had left that person, and then she was in Morganton, North Carolina, where I was at. She was staying at the current, like a female homeless thing that, like during the day she couldn't be there. So we'd hang out. But she was real smart. That's what was intriguing, because she was younger, but she was like really like I could talk to her about stuff like we've been talking about today. Like she was real interested in learning. I brought up quantum physics, and she was like knowledgeable about a bunch of different stuff, and had done real good in high school and everything. And I don't know, she just was really like it was someone that I always liked, I more like to think of her like I like to think of most people. She was like a team player. She was willing to help me, even if we didn't have to necessarily be in a romantic relationship. We were friends first and stayed friends even after that kind of stuff. So it was really cool, Anyway, I don't mean to talk so much about it. It's just you're from Pennsylvania. That made me think, and so actually I don't even remember the day. It was sometime early, probably like we probably just I'd have to look it up. I don't remember the day she died, but she died in March, so it could have already passed, or we could be coming up on it. It doesn't really. Things like that are not so prevalent. Like February was when her birthday was, so there's been certain things still on my mind, but not in a bad way. So I'm not down or I'm like just sharing a good memory. Plus, I'm enjoying just like not thinking so hard about okay, am I going to end the stream? Am I not? I figure it just kind of goes like I usually kind of know. I just kind of feel it out. But well, I did come in from the outside because I was like, well, I might. I'm trying to think about in my head what it is if I was to stop right now. What else would I be doing? Which I know some of it will be reading. Probably reading, and then I'll probably try to, I'll probably put my headphones on maybe in a little bit and even if it's just a short walk. It is nice enough to do that. I want to try to keep my momentum going, like, thank you. I love you too. No, I guess if I keep bringing it up, usually I guess it's just me being conscious of that. I don't have usually, I spend a lot of time not doing things. So, but to me, doing these streams is a productive thing to me. So sometimes it's like just giving somebody else an outlet to like have somebody to listen to or talk to, like even if it's just in the chat, like you, like having like if you're just sitting there doing, but I can't explain sometimes why. Like sometimes everything will be fine, and then all of a sudden I'll kind of be like, I'll get a little fidgety, and then that's when I kind of roll with it. That's what I kind of use to guide myself on whether how much longer I go or how short I go. But you're right. If I end it and I go back on later, somebody will show up. It's not like a big. I want to try to have like I want to be able to get to where when I do or like at least sometimes when I'm sitting down and doing it, I have the intention of like not worrying about how long and just staying on. It'd be cool. Like the more I do this, like maybe on a certain holiday or something. Like some people do that. They'll be streaming on and off all day long, like on certain things to give something for people to do. That's what I was going to do, like back around. I don't remember what it was. It was at Thanksgiving or Christmas. There was a holiday that I was wanting to do something like that, but I didn't have the ability to do it at the time. I was having to use a hotspot and stuff, and it was like limited and all that. So now I'm just streaming off of my data, and it don't really ever go down or anything too bad or nothing. But I am going to get off here. I think it's time. We've had a good chat, good stream. And I need to, like I said, I need to think about what I can do. Whether that be reading, drawing, or taking a walk, soaking up some sunshine, any of that. I need to, just kind of get active. Have a good day, brother. And love you, man. Ditto.